Hey guys, Nick from ArchCityPLO.com and Arch City Poker. Today's video, gonna do something a little different. I have compiled 5 questions, 5 facts, frequently asked questions, if you will. These are questions that have been either asked very recently, quite a bit, and or over the course of my career. If you guys like this format and you have questions of your own that I don't answer in this video, ask them in the comment section. I will compile a list, and I'll do this type of video maybe once a month to start out, maybe bi-weekly if you guys like it a lot. It can be anything from light-hearted questions to, maybe some strategic questions that don't need like too lengthy of an answer to, I guess, fulfill your curiosity, because the videos are supposed to be pretty short on this channel. So, but I'm gonna go over these 5 questions, and then at the end of the video, I want to address another question that I've been asked a lot, and that's about the types of videos that I'm making on the site right now, why I'm not making more in-depth videos, videos with PowerPoint slides, etc. I'm going to get into that at the end, but let's get started. Got my list here. First question, players that just don't fold. How do I play against these guys that I just can't get rid of them? They're sticky. I don't know what to do. Guys, this is a really easy one, to be quite frank. Widen your value betting range. Cut out the bluffs. That's how you exploit those guys. You will make a lot of money off of them by value betting second pair, third pair, even on some textures. They are calling a lot of times incorrectly with like gutters, air, where they're just calling to pick up draws on the turn. Believe it or not, that does happen. So if you do have that scenario where you have a player that's very sticky and he has what you perceive to be a pretty wide range post-flop, or pre-flop and post-flop, I guess, go ahead, widen your value betting range, cut down your bluffing frequency, and you'll be in good shape. Second question, is there a benefit to wearing sunglasses? I don't wear them because the sun does not shine indoors, so I don't really see an advantage to wearing them. Now, I know some guys that play the game at least on like a semi-professional level, or they did at some point, and they did wear them, and when they gave me the reason that they wear them, it is the reason that I think makes the most sense. There's a misconception that players wear sunglasses because they don't want other players at the table to see their eyes. Like a lot of players will think that the player that's wearing sunglasses is trying to avoid giving off any tells with his face. It's actually, in a weird way, the other way around. Players that I think wear sunglasses that are doing it for what I think is the right reason is that they don't want players to see what they're looking at. They're looking for tells from other players at the table. They don't want these players to see them looking at them or what they're looking at. So I think that's a somewhat reasonable answer. But to be quite frank, I don't really think they provide an advantage. I think players just wear them because they see it in movies, they see it on TV, they think it's cool, whatever. I don't have anything against it, to each their own. I don't care if you wear a scarf or sunglasses or whatever you wear. I'm at the table to basically take your money, so I don't really care. But third question, should I be focusing on having fun at the table, or should I be, should I start focusing a little bit more on actual winning? So this question's been asked quite a bit in a roundabout way. I think it's for players that are, wanting to socialize in the live poker or within the live poker dynamic, players that maybe want to listen to music at the table, players that want to have a beer, players that just want to kick back. If you don't care about winning as much, if you're there to socialize, if you're there to have fun, and winning and losing doesn't really matter, sweet. I mean, that's fine. I don't really think you guys need to focus too hard on, to be honest, like just winning. I don't think you need to be too into the hand if that's your prerogative, if you're there to just have fun. I would say, though, that most every one of you have more fun when you are winning. Let's face it, when we lose, most of us are at least decently competitive. We're not going there to just dump money to players. So if you're in a hand, be in it to win it. That doesn't mean try to win every pot the next time you sit down, but it does mean focus. It means if you have music on and you're in a hand, why don't you go ahead and turn the music off for a few minutes? Focus on the hand. Have your thoughts clearly ready to go, I guess, so to speak. But be in the hand to win it. And it doesn't mean that you can't socialize with other players at the table, but focus when you need to. If you don't know a lot of the players at the table, try to focus on what they're doing when you're not in a hand. And then if you get somebody that wants to talk to you, if you want to socialize for a few minutes, there's no problem with that. I think that's the fun thing about the live poker dynamic. Fourth question, shot taking. I do think at every point some players should take a shot at the stakes directly above what they're used to playing. Couple reasons for that. I think you should challenge yourselves. You do want to play against better players at some point because that's going to be one of the purest measuring sticks as far as how good your game has become, what you need to improve upon. Also, if you're a player that's actually trying to play for some sort of income, the lowest of live stakes, that's where the rake is going to hurt the most, and you want to try to at some point be able to escape that trap. It's incredible how much these rooms take in rake. So a couple reasons there to definitely do some shot taking. You don't need to do it all the time. That's why it's called shot taking, but I do think that you guys should jump into that next level of game at some point. Fifth question, last but not least, should I have a stop loss? I think most every single one of you should have one. Basically, if you don't know what this term means, it means essentially there's a certain amount of money that you're willing to lose, and then you are getting up from the table and walking away for the day. It could be one buy-in. It could be two buy-ins. I think whenever you feel like you are emotionally charged because of what's happened in your session, if you feel angry, very frustrated, I think that's when you guys need to consider getting up from the table. So if you get stacked and you lose your first buy-in and you're the type of guy that gets super pissed, you probably should consider leaving. And you need to work on your mental game a little bit because losing a buy-in can happen at any point, whether you're playing well or not. But if you feel like your mental game is pretty good, you don't tilt too often, you can make it 2, 3, even 4 buy-ins. I think that's getting a little much for some of you guys. You're probably making more mistakes than you think if that's happening. But I've been in a spot where I feel like I'm playing very well and I'm 3, 4 buy-ins deep. You're just running bad within that session. It happens. But if you're able to not tilt at the table, you understand that you have a plus EV situation if you stay, then that's a whole different ballgame. So I do think most of you should have a stop loss, though. Last but not least, I don't want the video to be too long. The reason that I'm not making videos with the PowerPoint slides anymore, videos that are much more in-depth, is that, again, I've addressed this before, I believe. This channel is, it's free content, and my schedule is way too full with players that are paying for one-on-one instruction, players that are paid members of ArchCityPLO.com. Those guys are always going to be the priority. They're paying for the highest form of content. That's how it's a big part of how I support myself. So it's nothing against you subscribers on the channel. You guys are great. You're very interactive. I'm glad I can provide you guys with, continue to hopefully provide you with a free video or so per week. And they're going to be pretty much in this form. I don't mind doing these quick vlogs, but as far as making, content where I have to make slides or I have to get into a solver, that's not going to happen anymore on this channel. That if you want that kind of content, if you are looking to improve your game, you need to click on the link to ArchCityPLO.com. It's very relatively cheap compared to a lot of training sites. The type of content that I provide will make you a better player. You will win more often in your live low to mid stakes games. You will have more fun. But for this channel, it's going to be a lot of these simple videos, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy them. So once again, if you have any questions for the next facts video, so to speak, put them down in the comment section. I will write those down, and whatever the most popular ones are, I'll add those to the list for the next video. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks.